Ladies, gentlemen, bodies of water, welcome to the Alchemy Lab. My name is Lee, but now I'm Cassius Valentine.
My name is Carl, and this time I'm Shift.
And my name is Matt, and we are back in the choking urban metropolis, which is the streets of Mihre. We were just in thick Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator-esque jungle. Now we are back.
I'm so going to use get
We
to
are
the
back.
airship in the next episode.
Get to the airship.
Yeah, in the final one. All
Yeah.
we can do is travel. Get to the airship.
Get
Get
down.
to the airship. Not travel. Gracchus.
Travel now talk in the third person. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, you will have heard all the Predator quotes from that episode.
Absolutely. We're going full Predator next episode.
But we were on one hell of a cliffhanger in Mihre.
Someone fucking poisoned me. Or tried to.
Someone attempted to poison you, Cassius.
And definitely poisoned.
It led to, maybe, we don't know yet, but it led to quite the bout in the Smiling Skies Inn. He almost killed you,
Yeah.
but then he
RHP is
vanished.
not okay.
No, it is
yeah,
not.
you guys are not okay. But you managed to get through to him just for a second,
Mm.
and it seems like he was like, "Nope, I'm out," and poof, he disappeared.
Mm.
You have an idea of the direction he went in.
Mm.
But well, let's see what you do.
No, I think from last episode, I'm not as concerned with Pox. I don't want to kill this thing. This is primo secret. What is he? Why is he? I want all of that. I don't want to kill him. So I'm going to go over to. We know his name now, don't we? Shift.
Yeah, Shift. You know Shift.
Well, thank you. So I pick him. I give him my hand, and it feels sort of warm to the touch on you there, Shift. And you heal 4 hit points.
Thank God for that.
Because I can do that once a day.
I will take it. Thank you, my friend. Might I inquire to what the fuck that thing was?
Well, that was what I was trying to find out. He is a curiosity. That's it.
You do keep some strange friends, my silver tongue.
Well, I hope he remains a friend. And thank you for the pleasant story as I walked in. I appreciate that. It's been a while since I've been barded.
You're welcome, but at the end of the day, it keeps me in food as well.
Very well.
Perhaps the proprietor could patch me up a little. I feel a little bit worse for wear, as it were.
Well, that's if she's still here.
Hey,
Lovely Anya. It's gone now.
You the door to the kitchens creaks open, and Anya just pokes her head through the crack. It fucking better be, Valentine.
I did not know that was going to happen. I live here as well.
She edges out, and you see her sort of suspicious eyes turn to sort of horror at the state of the room and at the state of everything.
And in fact, lovely Anya, this was not my doing at all. In fact, there was a young barmaid that served us drinks, both of which were poisoned. I believe this was an attempt on my life, but they've also, poisoned my companion.
Make me a perception check, Cassius.
Not like that. Can't do it on the floor. 13.
So the room is obviously ransacked. A few people seem to have been caught in some kind of crossfire. You see someone who seems to have been partially melted. by something. You have no idea what.
Mhm.
You see people with heavy lacerations who are slumped against tables. People who tried to hide, but were obviously very much caught in the crossfire.
Mhm.
And you see someone in the outfit of one of the waitresses,
Mhm.
slumped, like laying sprawled out, halfway between this room and one of the back rooms.
Mhm.
What the fuck do you mean one of my waitresses tried to poison you and that thing? What are you talking about?
It wasn't your normal girl. It was another one. She came over, brought the drinks, and then made a beeline for the door there.
What did she look like? The brunette. Was it the brunette?
I believe so, yes.
I think
And it
you'll
was-
find that it is the one lying on the floor
Where?
by the door to your back room.
Oh. Right.
I don't think she made it, unfortunately.
Best to check though, huh? Best to check. I've got a potion here somewhere. Mr. Valentine,
I'll go have a
I
look.
think that's your domain, not mine.
I get out my looking glass, my investigative wares.
Mm-hmm.
Look over her. What am I seeing? This isn't
Well,
the girl, right?
sorry?
Is this the normal girl or is this the other one?
You can't tell immediately,
Hmm.
because you see her bottom half.
Hmm.
It is removed, like the top half is not there.
Ah,
You kind of, if you open the door to the back room, it's like a storeroom.
Mhm.
The top half is 3 or 4 feet in, like, forward
Mhm.
on its front,
Mhm.
arms twisted a little bit.
Mhm.
It is the brunette.
Mhm.
Make me an investigation check. Shift. She hands you a healing potion from behind the bar.
What die do I need to roll for that?
Roll 2d4 and add 2.
2d4 and a 2.
Mhm.
Cool, so that is 6. That's 8 health total.
Cool. All right. You're pretty good. The poem was excellent.
Thank you, good lady. It's been an eventful evening, I think we'll agree. Perhaps,
I agree.
perhaps Mr. Valentine could do with some assistance tonight. After all, it appears his usual companion is not here. I'd sort of put my saber away and start walking over to Cassius.
Now, knock is unaccounted for,
Oh shit.
but you made an investigation roll.
Yes, and it was a good one. It was 25.
Okay, so this is definitely not the usual waitress. You've not seen her before at all. In her pocket, sort of in her apron, she wore sort of a small sort of pinning. You find a vial of something, some kind of poison. It is half full or half empty, depending on your outlook on life.
Or completely full. Half of poison, half of air.
Indeed. No, so based on your experience of poisonings and your knowledge of them, she did not administer a lethal dose.
Okay.
So the full thing would be a lethal dose.
And she gave a quarter to me.
She gave a quarter. She gave either a quarter to you or half to you. You're not sure what's going on with Pox. What happened there?
I
You
mean,
have your suspicions, of course.
yeah, I'd assume, which I must never do as an investigator, but we had that drink from the new waitress. Then he started to shake.
You can always double check. But it's a working theory. She doesn't have any other kind of identifying marks on her.
Mhm.
Just the outfit.
I'm going to pocket the poison because it's poison. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to go and speak to lovely Anya.
Shift, what are you doing?
I'll head over towards. Well, at this point, I'm noticing that Cassius is walking back this way. So fatigued and still very much wounded, he just sort of kicks up one of the chairs that's fallen over and just sits into it and just sort of slumps into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right. You want to speak to Anya?
Anya, this is very important. Where did this girl come from? It was indeed the brunette.
She's a temp. I mean, we hire temps for these things.
From where?
From just the agency nearby.
And what was her name?
Her name was Rose, I think.
Rose, and you can point me in the right direction of this agency.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Perhaps I can be of assistance here. The same agency that hired her is likely the one who hired me. There aren't many in Tier 7 after all. It's not exactly an affluent part of the city.
Very well.
Perhaps I should give you a formal introduction. My name is not Shift, it is Shifting Sands. He holds out his paw to you.
Okay. Shifting Sands. I once went to a place called Shifting Sands. Well, that had shifting sands. But the shifting sands didn't shift as much as I thought the shifting sands would shift. Now, this means nothing to Anya. And I'm wondering if it means something to Shift, because I'm speaking in Thieves' Camp, and I want to work him out.
What are you saying in Thieves' Camp?
Just anything that is kind of double speak is just basically you saying, do you know this language? You can say anything. It's not like a hidden message. This is just any kind of...
It's basically jargon and crap that you put into speech to try and convince that people who know what you're doing can clock onto what you're doing.
I've said shifting and sands a silly amount of times, which still just sounds like a tongue teaser to everyone else.
Yeah, Anya in fact rolls her eyes and goes, "You and your fucking tongue twisted. Time like this, gotta clean up my fucking bar." Just
tongue twister at a time like this, when the
sake.
time is not for a tongue twister, is not the best time to twist the tongue.
She is already gone.
Shift gives you a blank stare. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what is going on here. Perhaps you took a bump to your head?
I want to insight this motherfucker.
Go ahead.
Is he lying to me?
Do I draw my deception then?
Roll whatever is appropriate.
You're rolling a 20. So my insight is 22.
22 on deception.
Okay. You don't see anything from him. He is just confused about what's happening.
Okay.
So what you talking about, man?
Lee knows he's a rogue now. He's just rolled deception. Cassius is none the wiser.
I mean, Lee should do. Lee saw me roll a sneak attack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Stupid. Yeah. I just go. Well, you already know my name, Cassius Valentine.
Pleasure to finally meet the real Silver Tongue.
Well, enough of that. We must find this agency, and we must find who has tried
Of
to.
course, I shall lead the way. Your friend, the Kenku, do you know where he is?
Well, I don't see him here, which is good.
We'll keep an eye out on the road. It's only a few minutes' walk from here.
I don't see any thing that would suggest to me that Nock has just been blatted, have I?
No, you don't see any evidence of him at all.
Yeah. So he's just fucking jetted, which I would like him to have done.
Mm.
He's good at hiding. He's good at secreting himself.
Mm.
He may have even gone to his room.
Possibly.
I will go. Actually, before we go, I will go and check on his room.
He's not in. He's not in his room.
Mm. I'll leave him a note then.
Mm-hmm.
While he's upstairs, Shift wants to go and check over the body of the dead waitress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Make me. What are you checking? Investigation or medicine, depending on what you're checking for.
I'm trying to find certain objects that may or may not be on her person.
Okay.
That is a 14. I'm specifically looking for a vial, if that helps.
Oh, well, that's not on her person.
Cool.
Nothing is on her person apart from the clothes she's wearing.
Okay.
So I leave Nock a message anywhere I go. Good sir, I hope this finds you well. I have gone to find the people that have attempted on my life tonight. Stay secret and stay safe, and I will see you soon.
Okay. Okay.
Now I come downstairs.
Right. Back downstairs, you see Shift is still in his chair. Well, he's sat back down in his chair. His wounds are looking a bit better because he took, he's taken a healing potion. He seems a bit stronger, although not fully back to full strength, but strong enough to lead you.
Mm-hmm. Lead the way, Mr. Sands.
Absolutely. And please, call me Shift.
Very well.
I lead us out, I head towards the agency. It's about 15-minute walk. It's near the dockside, but just off one of the side streets.
It's not far from Charon's place, actually.
No.
So inside, so we're getting toward evening, but inside it's pretty quiet. Not much going on. A few sort of odds and ends are waiting to be seen by someone who can point them in a direction of some work. Looking to get registered with the agency as well. But the person at the desk peers up over their half-moon glasses at the pair of you. Mr. Sands, what on earth are you doing here?
Looking for some information. Unfortunately, there was an incident at the event tonight.
Not a violent incident, I hope. We can't have those.
I am afraid it was. It appears my friend here was... Someone made an attempt on his life.
Not one of ours, surely.
It appears possibly. The young girl, the bartender who was also hired to help them. She could have been the poisoner.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Keller, was that it?
Actually, I think you'll find that it was Rose.
Rose? Well, we don't have a Rose in here.
She was brunette. about the height of my companion here.
I'm really sorry. Matt's doing the I think you'll find voice, ladies, gentlemen, boys, when he was listening to our podcasts. He's using that voice, and I was waiting for a moment where he would say something wrong.
Waiting for the glass to get pushed up the nose.
Actually, I think
I think you will find, stranger, that we keep meticulous records here of the people who we hire for temping agency jobs, and we do not have a rose
You are
on our
certain.
books.
You are certain of the name of
bartender, poisoner. There we are. Do you keep those kind of records?
One at a time, please. Shift, what were you saying?
Perhaps you are certain of the name of the girl who went to the inn, yes?
Very certain her name was Keller.
Then it seems she either gave yourself a false name or the proprietor a false name.
Describe her again for me, would you?
Brunette hair, the height around that of my companion.
No, that's not Keller. That's not Keller. Keller was a short girl. She was dwarven. She had nice curly hair.
No.
Very friendly demeanor.
So it would seem our mystery bartender is even more of a mystery.
Well, I should say so. What were you saying there, stranger? You were...
No, you've answered my questions.
Good to hear. Well, seeing as you don't have any further use for me and my time, I suggest you Scarpa.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Good evening, gentlemen. Shift. Look forward to your... look forward to seeing you again, certainly, because you rake in the coppers, don't you?
I do try, my friend. I do try.
Yes, and well worth it. Well worth it, indeed. Well worth it. Anyway, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Well, here we are.
Indeed.
Did you inspect the body of the young girl?
I did, yes.
Did you find anything useful?
There was the poison, but nothing else.
Perhaps we could take it to an herbalist. They might be able to better identify it.
Do you know an herbalist who specializes in poisons?
I suspect they wouldn't accept the fact they specialize in poison, but they might be, at least for the right price, be willing to tell some story, shall we say. There is an herbalist in the market. They might be of some use.
What time? Are we getting a bit late now?
The market will still be open.
Okay.
Probably open for another hour or so. More than enough time.
Lead the way.
I start walking him towards the market. While we're sort of walking towards it, he sort of turns over his shoulder and, in thieves' cant, apologizes for the lie in the inn. I perhaps should explain. I have lived in Mihre for a number of years. Storytelling was not always profitable. I picked up a few tricks. I prefer the proprietors of the inns I work at not to know of my past. Some speak rudimentary cant.
Lovely Anya does not.
I do not like to take the risk. I am sure you can appreciate that, considering the recent life you have led down here.
Well, your lies are better than your cant.
It is somewhat rusty, I accept, but I luckily do not need to use it all that often these days.
Well, it's nice to have spoken it once again.
It is a nice habit to get into every now and then.
Indeed.
I should say the lady, the herbalist in the market, will also know the cant. I suggest we use it when we enter.
Mhm.
If we want the truth, that is the only way to get it.
Mhm. Very well. Lead the way.
Certainly.
Lead the conversation.
So I'm heading us to the market to the herbalist.
Mhm. The herbalist in question is still open. Oh no, they've just closed, but you can see there's still activity within their tent. You can smell the incense and the kind of various herbs and spices even that are radiating from it. Seems to be fairly multi-purpose, this one.
So outside I make a point of I see the Reuben grass is back in this moment. Rivka, can you hear me? Are you still in there?
I can hear you. Come on in.
Thank you.
You enter the tent. Rivka is a halfling.
Mhm.
He is like at the top of a sort of step ladder with a network of benches. Well, like a network of kind of wooden planks. They look a bit like benches, but you can tell they're walkways for him while he's sort of picking out things for his customers.
Mhm.
You walk into desk, and then behind him is all his wares, basically.
Good evening, Rivka. How are you?
I am good. It is good to see you.
It's been a while.
I bet it has. How long? How long?
Oh,
Months. Gotta be months.
6 months, I believe.
6 months. Good Lord. Well, what can I do for you?
I was hoping you could perhaps give us some information. We've had an incident at one of the inns I was working at.
We're looking for herbs within the suburbs, but suburbs herbs are hard to find, so that's good to bear in mind.
And this is?
This is a new acquaintance of mine, Cassius Valentine. Perhaps you've heard the name?
I've heard many a name many a time. And many a time name I've heard.
Now we are all friendly then.
That was time with a H. I'm a herbalist, after all. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Rivka. Now, I was poisoned. Well, almost poisoned tonight.
Oh, bad luck for you.
Indeed.
We
Well,
were hoping you might be able to identify the poison.
Bad luck for them because I'm still alive and I also have the vial of the poison in which they used on me. Funny,
Well, your luck has certainly changed slightly there, yeah.
they've only used half of this. Now, they've either used half on me or a quarter on myself and a companion that I was drinking with. The full amount of this, as far as I'm aware, and you may be able to help me with this, I hand it over, is that a full dose of this would have killed me. Half would not. A quarter certainly wouldn't have.
He uncaps it, pours a little bit out into a tray. You see it separate into different kind of components. Oh, that's yeah, that's nasty stuff. Nasty stuff. Although I would tell you that they could have used far worse. You say they used so they used up to about there?
At most, at least, it would have been half that. Half on me and half on my companion.
So a quarter. Well, I mean, if they did something nastier, well, you didn't take any, but your companion could have. What happened to your companion? Were they killed? Are they alive? What's
He
going
is
on?
okay.
It's a complicated matter there, Rivka.
Well, I'll take your word for it. These things usually are. But if he's still alive, then they, well, either they're a very bad poisoner, or they weren't trying to kill you.
Hmm.
What is going on here tonight?
You
An
got
assassination
me.
attempt that wasn't an assassination attempt, apparently.
Well, what happened to your companion?
He is still alive.
Perhaps a little was for wear, but I'm sure he'll recover.
Well, well, there you go.
What kind of skill would it take to make something like that?
Like something like this. Well, something like this, I could probably make it. I'm pretty good though. I'm pretty good.
Did you?
Did I? No. This isn't my work. I use different kind of vials. These are a little too fragile. But I suppose someone with maybe 4 or 5, closer to 5 years experience would be able to make it. Access to the components, that's a different matter. They would need to have been collected from several different islands. Overland, Torignac. You need to go to Torignac to get a couple of these things. To get the different kind of mushrooms. There's another kind of fungus that grows on Senon, which you would have needed. But yeah, I mean, if you've got access to them.
From, sorry.
Sorry?
Not you.
What you said tall something, didn't you, Matt?
Torignac.
No. Gracchus is Torgavan.
Torgavan.
It's out that way though. It's one of the outer sort of one of the part of that sort of part of the peninsula, but it's not his home island.
Torignac is further in than yours, than Torgavan.
Yeah.
Are these far away?
Pretty far.
Reasonably.
Okay.
Senon would be a few weeks by airship, I think. Torignac, a bit longer.
Well, there you go. You just between us, you may have attracted the attention of someone up there.
I've had their attention for some time.
Rivka, you said it would take someone with 4 to 5 years experience to create this, yes?
Oh yeah.
Do you know anyone who would be able to make it?
Down here? Down here, I mean, there are a few less reputable people down here that could have done it. Well, further up, you get better herbalists and alchemists who could have done it.
It feels like someone from down here, though, doesn't it? If it was coming from up high, then you would expect the poisoner themselves to be giving a lethal dose.
Well, I can't go with the motivations of the people who attempted to do this, but
sure, I appreciate that. Could you perhaps? I have a few favors to ask, Rivka. I know it's been a while. Could you perhaps write the names down of the people here in Tier 7 that could make this, and perhaps you could spare some kind of herbal health potion for an old friend? I took a bit of a beating up in the incident.
Oh, yeah, I think I can. Yeah, I got one prepared somewhere here. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. He runs along the platform, rummages in some bottles. That'll do you. How about yourself, Mr. Valentine? How are you feeling?
I think I could actually use some assistance, yes.
I will owe you for this, Rivka.
Well, you are good for it, I know. So that's fine with me. He runs back along the platform, puts 2 healing potions on the table.
Fantastic. What do we get for this, Matt?
Just again 2d4.
So, yep, 2d4 plus 2.
2
4.
health for me. So Shift gulps it down in one and puts the bottle back down for Rivka.
Alrighty. Well, oh, right. You wanted the names. You wanted the names of people who could have made this stuff. All right. He jots down a few names onto a piece of paper. The first is a name you're familiar with. It is Nia. Nia is the doctor you met during the Nihilist. It's a possibility, but
The female doctor.
Yes.
Oh right, yeah. So pretty much an outside chance.
Mm-hmm. Another name is Gellert.
Okay.
Seems a bit strange for him to poison himself.
There are some other names that you don't recognize. And there's one that you do recognize, Shift. One that you have, the name of this person is Serrano.
I can hazard a guess as to who might have made our poison here, my friend.
Right, so Cassius isn't so sure that it's a tier 7 thing.
Mm-hmm.
Someone wants to... So he's had attempts on his life before, and people have tried to kill him. They've tried to kill him because they think that he's going to let all the secrets out.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like his mind is ticking over at the moment, that the game has changed now. It's not the same people going after him. This is capture. This is not kill. This is capture. And the most probable reason of that is to extract these secrets from him, potentially from the person that's put him in this situation in the first place. Someone's trying to usurp him. So
I don't know how you can be sure of that at this point.
Can I roll for this to sort of think about this?
It's going to be investigation.
Okay.
Not with the
not with my spyglass. Can't put that in my mind, can I?
No. Just turns it in reverse so he looks into himself.
Still not bad. So it is a 6 with a 15, 21.
A 6 with a 15.
Yeah.
Oh, so you rolled a 15.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, a plus 15 modifier. That's absurd.
Plus 15, that would be insane.
It would be. 21. Okay, so
has the game changed?
Turning it over in your head, that there is the possibility that the game has changed, but you don't have enough to go on to suggest that it has changed. Pox absolutely could have killed you, and if Pox was poisoned as well, again something you're not sure happened. But if he was poisoned as well, and that turned him aggressive, then he could have easily have killed you, and that would have made it just look like a random act of violence. And you know that this person, the waitress, was an assassin. No markings, just the poison, and no record of her. So she's definitely an assassin. She follows the patterns that you've had before. Potentially the game has changed. You haven't seen the name on the paper. And when you look, it is a name you recognize.
Okay.
Serrano, if it is the same Serrano you're aware of, is someone from tier 3.
Okay.
A very adept poisoner. Very clandestine. Someone like a Black Ops guy, someone you turn to if you want someone to choke on their breakfast 200 miles away.
And are we on speaking terms, or have I just heard the name of this man?
You are very, very aware of him and his work. I don't think you've met him before.
I mean, would this then feed into my theory that the game has changed? Because someone up top in tier 3, where I moved through, has employed a Black Ops person who normally kills people to not kill me.
So it fits with the amount of poison given to you which would have been given to you isn't enough to incapacitate.
Okay.
It would probably enough to make you nauseous.
Right.
Wasn't enough to incapacitate in any way.
Okay.
Any of the names ringing a bell for you, Cassius?
I believe it is this last one here. None of these names I recognize. I don't believe it's anyone in tier 7. There's no real need to get rid of me in tier 7. I've not made enough waves in that kind of way to be much of a nuisance, but this name is
the poisoner if they were not planning to kill you.
This name is not from tier 7.
Mihre indeed is a very strange city.
Now, Shift, you have heard of Serrano before, but sort of it's like a horror story.
Yeah. You say you know this Serrano. Sorry, nothing came through there, mind.
I know of him, I know of his work.
So he is real?
Oh, yes.
I always thought him is a myth, a ghost story.
That is how the best of us work.
I suppose this is true.
Are you still in the alchemist tent, by the way?
I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah, we wouldn't. I wouldn't have left yet. Rivka, one last favor, if I can.
Sure.
This Serrano. Do you know of a way we could find him? Or where he might be operating from?
Operating from, I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. I don't really have many dealings with him. Although I could give you some addresses for the others if any of the others are of interest to you.
You are certain it is most likely Serrano?
I would think so. The top 2 are outsiders. The second name there was the gentleman who we fought. He would not need to poison me. I'm sure he could just do that to kill me.
I think you will be right on that one.
Nia is one of the good ones. These people I've never heard of.
Nor I.
Whoever's trying to kill me, I have heard of. Or would have used someone that I have heard of.
Very well. Much obliged, Rivka.
Well, no problem. And well, I hope you have I don't know, better. Well, I hope your luck stays reasonably good, Mr. Valentine, and I hope whoever tried to poison you is just a terrible poisoner and not someone doing anything nefarious.
On the way out, I grabbed the list of names just as a precaution, because you never know.
You never know.
It appears at the moment we are at an impasse. If it is indeed Serrano, we do not know how to find him.
Well, I still have a few contacts.
Perhaps you could put the word out and we could go check on your friend to make sure he is okay.
Indeed. I'll leave word with my patron of this tier, and hopefully he can make some connections. Come back towards the agency where you came from.
This time I will follow your lead, my friend.
Of course. So we edge back to Chowns. I need to leave the situation with him.
You have not been in his abode before, have you?
No, I don't think so.
It is, on the face of it, it seems to be some kind of just rundown warehouse.
Mhm.
The second you step through the door, that impression changes immediately. So it's sort of, there is like a little sort of atrium office area that seems to keep up the appearances of a warehouse, and then beyond that it is lavish in the tier 7 sense. It's like tier 5 level in here. Well-armed thugs, for lack of a better term. They look pretty thuggish, but they don't seem to be that antagonistic with you, let's say. In fact, they nod at you.
That.
Yes.
Would Charon be aware of who Shift is?
He's aware that you're a bard.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, he's aware of you. Charon, yeah. So Charon is in. So you're directed up to Charon. Charon is in a very large lounge. Shalongs for days.
Love it.
There are scantily clad ladies everywhere.
You hear this music in the background.
You hear.
There's no copyright strikes, by the way.
You hear nice harp music, like harp and lute, like a harp and lute duo.
This is tasteful as fuck, basically.
It is very tasteful. It is very, very tasteful.
Yeah.
The harpist is an elf, and she is nude.
Nice.
The lute player is a slightly older tiefling woman, and she's also nude. So he apparently has his tastes, Charon, and they are wide-reaching, but they are definitely ladies of all races.
All creeds.
Yeah.
Shift is kind of just sort of scanning the room of all these scantily clad and naked women and just sort of leans over to Cassius. Your friend has very good taste, it would appear.
Indeed he does, yes.
And how did you know him again?
He thought I killed someone, but I didn't.
I suppose in tier 7 that is a pretty normal way to meet someone after all.
One of these women stands up and approaches you. She is a little older than the rest by a few years.
Is she the madam?
She's something. She is what is she? She is I've forgotten what she is. I know what she is now. She approaches you. She looks she looks nondescript. She looks very beautiful, of course. Wearing a red dress down to like a gown past her feet. It's difficult to pick out a race with her. She's in certain lights she looks human. In certain lights she looks almost genasi. In certain lights she looks almost like she has tiefling's horns. As she moves towards you, it's difficult to even discern anything but beauty and kind of radiance.
Another fascinating creature.
The rarest flowers are often the most beautiful.
Well, you are most charming, Mr.
Shift, please.
Mr. Shift. And you are Mr. Valentine, I think.
Indeed I am, young lady.
Charon is available if you wish to speak to him.
Please, yes.
Right this way. She leads you onward.
Shift, you are more than welcome to stay here with
Tempting as the offer may be, considering what happened tonight, I feel it is in my interest to help you. After all, I am involved in perhaps killing the poisoner. I may now be a target in this.
As you wish.
She leads you through a set of curtains, and Charon is sitting behind a very large mahogany desk. You get a whiff of the lover's haze immediately.
At that, Shift just sort of takes a tabard of fabric from his thing and just wraps it around his face.
This is different. This is a different kind of smell than what you have before. This stuff is it almost smells cleaner, and less. While the lover's haze is usually very sweet, it's a little bit little bit sickly. This is just sweet. Charon looks up from his gentleman. I've seen you before, he says, looking at you, Shift.
He sort of elaborate bow. My name is Shifting Sands. I am a performer, a storyteller.
That's where I've seen you, on posters.
It appears my reputation has preceded me for a change.
Very much so, very much so. And you, Mr. Valentine, what can I do for you this evening?
Well, a question first, Charon. You didn't care to bring your lovely ladies to Brachus's leaving party, I see.
No, I didn't, did I? We all have our secrets, Mr. Valentine.
Some much more beautiful than others, indeed.
Somewhere in the distance, Gracchus senses a disturbance in the force.
Now, getting some very, very disturbing reports from the Smiling Skies Inn.
Well, what do you know, and I will fill in the rest for you, Charon.
I heard that there was a disturbance of rather epic proportions.
There was.
There seemed to have been a few deaths.
Correct.
Your secretary came straight to me.
Fantastic. Is he still here?
He's here somewhere.
Okay. I'll let him enjoy the company of this.
Last I saw, he was definitely enjoying the company of all this.
Fantastic.
Now, my question to you is, well, what the hell did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was having a very, very interesting conversation with Pox. In fact, it seemed to be one of the first conversations that the thing has had without, turning into what he did. There was an attempt, I thought there was an attempt made on my life tonight. Poison. I'm not entirely sure if Pox was poisoned also, which turned him into the ravenous murder being that he was. But regardless, the amount that would have been given to me as a single dose or split between us both would not have killed, it would not have even incapacitated, merely made me nauseous. The poisoner was most certainly an assassin, not one that I'm familiar with, but she was an assassin nonetheless.
Where's Gellert now?
He fled towards the wind. I was able to talk him down. We exchanged a few blows. I reiterated that I meant him no harm, and he left.
I see. And you say he was going which direction?
Towards the wind.
You sure he was going that way?
I believe so, yes.
He wasn't going home then. His home is against the wind.
That's what I meant. Aren't we saying the same thing? Towards the wind, against the wind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're saying
Do you mean against the wind?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. In that case, then we're on the same page. Aye. So he was going home then.
Well, if you say so.
So he has precautions, let's say. Does Gellert, just in case Pox makes an appearance.
His appearance was fine for some time. We drank, we conversed. All was fine until that drink came. The third drink came. A different barmaid who was assigned to the agency just down the road. Well, we thought she was, but the barmaid assigned to the Smiling Skies in that night never showed up. I fear she may be dead.
Well, that is an issue. That is a big issue. Considering recent events. All right. Well, he puts down his pipe. What's your next move? I suppose is my question to you.
I need to find who poisoned me. I think I know who has created the poison. And I need to work from there, ideally.
I thought you said the waitress poisoned you.
Well, she administered the poison. I don't think she created it. She did not have the skill, from what I understand.
So you know who created it. You know who administered it.
I have a feeling I know who created it. Shift, you have the list, right?
I do. Forgive me. These are the names an old friend of mine gave us. He's a herbalist.
Now, as you can see from the first two names, I do not believe that they would want to do this. Nia has been a good help. Gellert was there. I know none of these names until this one here.
Aye. Serrano. Interesting. Well, again, it's a name I've heard. A name I've heard many times, but not a name that I associate with anybody real. He is a myth, I believe.
He is most certainly real.
Well, perhaps from your old life.
But he wouldn't be the one who wants me dead. This man is a fixer, a mercenary.
Aye.
I've had no dealings with him. I have had no bad or good blood with him. I know of his work. I know it is good.
Is this the first time someone's made an attempt on your life?
Oh no, heavens no. Every time I bounced down a tier, there had been one or two attempts, all foiled, obviously. But this still doesn't feel like an attempt, though, from what I've found. The full dose would have killed me. Half would have barely incapacitated.
Well, what tends to happen with Gellert and Pox? If Pox feels that Gellert is threatened, Pox will do something drastic. I don't know the particulars, but with whatever he is, it seems that if Gellert dies or is grievously wounded, then Pox is stuck. So it's in his interests to defend himself, as it were.
Perhaps the poison was sufficient enough in Gellert to terrify this Pox enough to turn into the beast he became.
Right. Now, if that's the case, then Well, you're lucky to escape with your life.
I feel I was able to talk him down. I think I was able to speak sense beyond Pox's blinkers.
I am glad he did. I have the wounds to prove it.
As do I.
Well, in that case, you'll likely find him at home. But as to this Serrano, I don't know. It's a little above my world.
Indeed, I thought as much. Any of these other names mean anything to you at all? They didn't to me.
They're all just standard herbalists, all just normal people.
Right.
There is a name missing on this list, actually. These are people who could make this poison. Right?
According to my friend, yes.
Right. Who's your friend?
Rivka.
Aye, that's the name that's missing off the list. I imagine since he gave you the list.
Yes, he told us he not made it. So he obviously didn't write his own name on the list. It seems a bit of a wasted gesture, I suppose.
Right. Fair enough. Well, I don't know. I don't know what I can do for you, gentlemen.
Perhaps we should check on this Gellert. If the poison was enough to draw out this pox and make him this rabbit, then he may not be in the best of health right now.
Yes, and I did promise that I didn't want to take Pox away from him, and I do like Gerard. Fantastic. Thank you for your help, Charon.
No problem.
Should you ever wish to invite me to one of your sexy parties, I would dutifully accept, of course.
Perhaps I will one day.
If you
Perhaps
ever
I
need
will.
an entertainer, then perhaps a friendly call to the agency would be in order.
Perhaps indeed. Now I think my party guests are perhaps in need of some entertainment themselves. So, if you wouldn't mind, gentlemen.
Of course.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I look forward to your next rendition, Mr. Sands.
I look forward to performing it for you. I am currently on a run of Tales of the Sword and the Silver Tongue. I'm sure I might be able to feature you in one or two of these.
Maybe so. Good hunting, gentlemen.
Thank you, friend. Not forget.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's head towards Gellert. I don't want him to be dead. Okay. If he's dead, I'm dead also.
Mm.
Yeah. Your patron might not be impressed.
Mm-hmm. You okay? So, the address of Gellart's place is on the paper. He wrote it down, I believe. He wrote down the names and he wrote down the addresses of where people were.
If you knew them, yeah.
He does know Gellart's, so it's really far into the mountain.
Mhm.
Like it's almost in the core of the mountain, his place. In a sort of isolated-ish area of the city, seemingly because of what he is.
Yeah.
It takes you a good 30 minutes or so there on foot. So, in fact, it takes you a good 15 to 20 minutes there in the back of Boyce's cart, who Charon sort of motions you towards. Boyce is not partaking in the party. He is just downstairs with the rest of the thuggish-looking people.
You didn't get an invite either, Boise. I see.
I never do, unless I've been very good. Now, Oppin, where are you off to exactly?
This address here, Gellart's.
Oh, bloody hell. Word's starting to spread about the Smiling Skies Inn. I assume you were there. That's where you're staying, isn't it?
I was at the epicenter of the poxident.
That is certainly one way to phrase it, my friend.
By the way, I love your work.
Too kind, my friend. Too kind.
No, the way you do your words, it's just.
It's nothing. It is all in the delivery. You just have to know how to capture your audience. It comes with practice. That is all. I'll tell you what. Next time I at a show, tell them that Shift sent you. They won't charge you for entry.
Well, I can't wait. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I'm gonna go out and look for the next show. The second this business is over.
I hope once this is done, I can begin releasing the next poster. I don't want to have to wait too long. This will make a fantastic tale to tell for all of Street of the Mihre.
You can say that again. They excitedly jabber for the next 10 minutes or so before he stops the cart next to quite a narrow street. The dwellings are it's the kind of poor dwellings similar to the ones that you saw way back in your first adventure. But at the end there is it's a hut basically. Looking in there, so are you approaching? Do you want to check it out?
Yeah.
So on your walk there, on your way there, make me a perception check. Both of you.
19. Yes.
15.
Okay. So both of you, as you're approaching, you see that the front door and every window is barred. It's barred with heavy, definitely metal bars. And you can hear some commotion within.
Gellert. All pox. It's Cassius.
I will take a step back. If it is still this pox, he may not be amenable to me.
That's very wise.
I'd sort of take a couple steps back just in case, and I don't want Pox going crazy at me.
Yep.
I'm gonna aura up.
Okay. Still commotion from inside. May not have heard you.
I'll knock on the door.
The commotion inside stops.
Gellert or Pox or both of you, it's Cass. It's Cassius.
The door opens. And you see what the commotion was. It was Pox / Gellert. However, he is chained. His wrists are chained together. His ankles are chained together. He has chains wrapped around his whole body. He's writhing and bucking and screeching even. He is surrounded by figures.
Okay.
And
figures as in people?
As in people.
Okay.
Shift draws his saber.
The bars lower into the floor. And the figures begin to advance on you.
Who are you?
Perhaps you should lay down your weapons and come with us, Mr. Valentine.
How many are there?
There are 8 of them.
Very well.
At that point of the order there, Shift just drops his saber onto Cassie's shoulder.
I'm sorry, my friend. It is only business.
What the fuck?
And that's where we'll end this episode.
I've been double-crossed, people.
You've been
fucking double-crossed.
You got double-crossed.
I got bamboozled.
We've been having a frantic text conversation, me and Carl, for most of this episode.
Do it now. Do the saber thing now.
No, genuinely, it's been like, right, what do I need to do here to get this going? Where's this? Should I do this? Should I do that? And it's like, literally, after we left the tavern, it was like, when do I either spring the trap? He was like, I'll tell you when. Like, okay.
I'll tell you what, when we were in Charon's and you said, he was like, there's one name missing on here. And I'm like, did he fucking do the poison? Did he do the poison?
To be fair, I paused for a second. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't tell me Charon is going to work out that Shift is not who he said he was. Shit panic then.
Indeed. Well,
There we are.
I suppose we shall see what's going on with Cassius Valentine at some point in the future. Next time, we're back with our sword, Mr. Gracchus, Foebreaker, in the Predator jungle.
Yeah.
Hopper.
Get to the Dixie.
Get to the Dixie. Doesn't have the same ring to it. It still sounds all right though. Still sounds all right. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And what will happen to Mr. Valentine? Where's he being taken? What the hell was going on with Pox and
Who are
Gellert?
these 8 people?
Who are these 8 people?
Like and subscribe and join us next time to find out more.
We'll leave it there. That was pretty good. See ya.